Hey everyone, so time for another movie review. Way overdue for stuff on this channel, but I finally watched, I guess you would call it a horror movie. That's a little bit better than what I've been watching in horror movies, although I'm going to do a review of one I watched a little while ago that wasn't terrible. Um, they've been kind of either bad or so-so. This one was a little bit better than so-so. Anyways, me and Nathaniel, we just a little while ago finished watching Imaginary. So we watched it on Hulu, and I would say this is a rewatchable movie. Not terribly scary. I believe it was rated PG. So if you're looking for something that's like really big on the jump scares, it had some jump scare-ish kind of moments, but nothing like truly terrifying, which I'm not like a big jump scare fan, just because I startle easily. So I think it's kind of good for people like me. Um, it's more on the creepy side. So if you like ghost movies, creepy imaginary friend movies, which this is what that is what this is. I think you'll like this one. So this story is about a woman named Jessica. I believe that was her name. She is moving back into her childhood home with her husband and her two stepchildren. The one stepdaughter, the older one, doesn't like her very much. She's kind of a brat, and that's one of the things that I get kind of tired in movies. It's kind of a tired old trope, having one child that's a brat. It's either, a lot of times it's a girl, right? It'll either be the older sibling that's angry at like the new parent or even their biological parents for whatever reason, or it's a little sister that gets away with everything because she's little and people just think she's cute or whatever, or just, oh, she's a kid kind of thing. So that part I wasn't too crazy on. But anyways, the movie opens up with her having like this nightmare about a character that she's created, like a spider character, and then they move into the house. We learn that, actually, I'll get to that part in a second. So, they're setting up and everything, and the younger sister, she ends up going to the basement and she finds a bear. And the bear's name is Chauncey. And at first it's like cute. She's got her imaginary friend and stuff. But then things start going a little creepy. Then Chauncey starts telling her to exclude Jessica, who the little girl's name is Alice. I think the older sister's name is Taylor, the little girl's name is Alice, and Alice, unlike Taylor, likes Jess, right? They get along, and she likes to hang out with Jess, She likes when Jess does things with her, plays with her, like a mom would. But then she starts wanting to do things only with Chauncey, right? They have a scavenger hunt list, and Jess isn't allowed to see it, and things just get like really creepy, right? We later learn that their mother is mentally unstable, the mother of the two girls. The movie never goes into what actually happened with the mother, and that's the thing that kind of bothers me. Is I don't know, I like backstory on things, so it's like it just felt unanswered, like incomplete. But whatever, it's like I said, a PG-13 movie. They probably didn't plan on making it very long, but I don't know. When you want me to be invested in characters and care about characters, I kind of like a little bit more of a backstory. But anyways, so one day she finds something of hers, Jess, wrecked, like one of the pictures she's doing for one of her books, because she's an illustrator. I think she's an author and an illustrator. And stuff happens. I'm not going to give everything away, every detail, because otherwise you're not going to watch the movie. And she ends up finding the list, right? She gets into like an argument. Well, what happens is that the reason we find out about the mother is that the older sister is texting the mom because she thought that she was better. The mom ends up finding where they live and like kind of attacking them. So Jess goes to check on Alice, and then that is where she finds her list, the scavenger hunt that Chauncey gave her. And she is talking to Alice, who she thinks is pretending to be asleep. And she kind of tells about some things that happened like in her own childhood. And then she sees Alice outside, and Alice has a board with a nail in it, and then so she looks over the list and sees that Alice is going to do something that would hurt her, because one of the things on the list is to do something that hurts. So there are things on the list like do something that would get you in trouble, do something that you're afraid of, like she was collecting bugs and she doesn't really like bugs. So Jess calls like, I don't know if it's a therapist, a psychiatrist, something like that. And during their session, Alice takes in Chauncey because she asks if, her imaginary friend can be with them. And of course the therapist says yes. And she begins to like hear two different voices, the therapist, like Alice talking to Chauncey, and she starts crying and getting hysterical. And she talks about a place called the Never Ever and stuff like that. And then after the session, the therapist shows Jess that she encountered something similar in somebody else, like another patient. And we discover that no one else sees the bear but Alice and Jess. Like, Alice went out to get because we can see the bear, us, the audience. She goes out to get the bear from the kitchen, but there is no actual bear. To the therapist and everybody else other than Jess, she's basically just kind of like holding her arm up with nothing in it, like she's pretending to hold something. And so they start to try to figure out what's going on. And one of the neighbors who used to babysit Jess and knows about what happened to her father and knows about the house and everything, what happened there, basically tells them that imaginary friends are not imaginary, that all throughout different cultures there have been entities that have attached themselves to children, and in our culture, like American culture, we call them imaginary friends. And when they are separated, sometimes from children, they become like violent spirits and stuff. And so the movie kind of continues from there. And, I won't spoil it or anything, But yeah, I guess you would call it like a supernatural, well, I guess spirit movie. It's supernatural, but paranormal, supernatural kind of um, slight jump scare ish, bad imaginary friend kind of movie. I would give this one at least a 4 star. Um, like I said, not enough backstory for me, but it wasn't boring. It didn't feel like it dragged. There's just a couple things against it that kept it from being a 5 star, but like I said, it's rewatchable. I think you should at least give it a chance. It was one of the more decent movies I've seen this year. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.